Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to make a necklace and a pair of earrings using products from the Bargain Bead Box January 2021 edition, and it is called Roses Are Pink. If you're not familiar with Bargain Bead Box, it is a monthly beading subscription service. And this month they sent us $65 worth of product, 19 different things, and that's shipped to your door for $17.95 a month. You can't beat it. You get all kinds of cool stuff in there, gemstone beads, just amazing, amazing stuff. You'll see if you watch the video. Along with your subscription, you get a coupon code to their sister store, Bead Box Bargains, which already has great prices, and then you get 30% off. You can use that over and over and over all month long, as many times as you want. So yeah, it's just a really great deal. I love Bargain Bead Box. So if you're interested in subscribing to Bargain Bead Box, I do have a coupon code. It is Wendy2. That's all one word. It will get you either $2 off of your first subscription box or $2 off of your purchase in their store. So you do not have to be a subscriber to the box to shop in the store, just so you know that. So you can use it either way. All right, Wendy2. Now, what we're going to use today, and I'm going to try to please everybody. I've had so many crazy comments lately. So I've had people complain about my background, so I changed my background. We're going to use this gray, you know, just normal background, nothing big, nothing popping out on it, so it should be good. My camera was zoomed in too far, so I've zoomed out the camera, and then I'll get somebody that will complain that the camera is not zoomed in enough. I guarantee it. I'm trying to talk loud. Yes, I am. And somebody complained that I giggle too much, so I'm like, I am giggling at that, actually. You know, with the world in the shape it's in right now, I would think laughing in any form would be a good thing. Chortle, chuckle, giggle, guffaw, whatever you want to do. Just, you know, be happy. So, I don't know about the giggle comment. That one just kind of blew my mind. But anyway, I'll try not to giggle as much. I just giggled again. It just cracks me up. I'm like, the things people find to complain about just really do amaze me. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to try to please everybody in this video today. We'll see how it goes. So, if you would like to make this necklace along with me and earrings, you're going to need the big rose gold focal piece from the Bargain Bead Box this month. That was a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. We're going to use that. You're going to need some of the spacer beads and some of the 6mm. Are these 6? No, the 8mm. I'm sorry, the 8mm rose quartz beads, and I'm probably going to be using more than just 2 of them. So let me grab a couple more. I don't know why I only pulled out 2. We're not going to use a whole bunch of them, but we'll definitely be using more than 2. We're going to be using these little sparkly rondelles that were in the box this month. You will need some chain. So they sent the Rolo chain in the box, and I've got 2 lengths of it cut for the sides of my necklace. Now you just need to cut yours depending on how long you want your necklace to be. So the sides of my necklace, and then I've got, this is some chain from my own stash. This is just a rose gold curb chain, and I wrote down these measurements. So I have a 7-inch piece, a 6 1/4 inch piece, a 5 1/4 inch piece, and a 4 3/4 inch piece. Okay, so those are what I'm going to use on the necklace part. If you want to do yours just the same as mine, those are your measurements that you'll need to cut it at. I am going to be using an eye pin, and this is a fairly long eye pin. It's like a 2-inch one. I really would have liked to have had a longer one, but I didn't, and I didn't have any rose gold wire either, so we're just going to use that one. I have a lobster clasp. I have some small jump rings. This is a ring for my lobster to clasp onto, and this is a ring to attach my lobster to my chain, and then I have some smaller jump rings. I'm not sure if we'll end up using them or not. That's for the necklace. For the earrings, you'll need a couple of ear wires. You will need 3 chains, and the lengths for these chains are 3 1/4 inches is your longest one. Then I've got a 2 1/4 inch, and then I have a 1 3/4 inch. And these you want doubled because you're going to obviously make 2 earrings. Okay, so there's those. And then you need 2 eye pins. I'm going to be using a couple of the rose quartz beads again, and probably some of these others I'll mix in as well. And then you're going to need 2 more pieces of chain that are 1 3/4 inches long for the top. You'll see how when we get to doing this, you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's what you need for the earrings, and maybe a jump ring, I'm not sure. And your jewelry tools. Now here are my jewelry tools. I'm going to say it because somebody asks me every single video. These come from Amazon. They are Xuron brand and they're awesome. I love them. So there's my jewelry tools. Okay, so if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is create our main focal piece for this pendant, okay? And we're going to need our chains, and we're going to need them in order of longest to shortest. So let me lay these out here. And I'm using the Rolo chain here for just a little texture and variety. I'm using 3 pieces of the chain from my own stash and 1 piece of the Rolo chain, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is take my longest piece. I'm going to pick up the end link. Actually, I'm going to put a spacer bead on first. Let's do that. Okay, then I'm going to pick up the end link. Okay, just like this. Then I'm going to use one of these rondelles. Then I'm going to pick up my next piece of chain, the end link on my next piece of chain. I'm going to use another rondelle. Then I'm going to pick up my next piece. I'm going to use a rose gold spacer here. And then I'm going to pick up the last chain. And here's what you should have on your little eye pin. Okay? Now I'm going to put my pendant piece on. Just like this. Actually, I think I'm going to put let me do another rondelle here. I think I have room for it. That'll space it out just a tad. Okay, then we're going to put on the pendant piece. Okay, now we're just going to repeat this pattern on the other side. So I'm going to do a rondelle. I hope I have enough room. I needed a longer eye pin, but I just didn't have a longer one. And if I have to, I can take off one of those rondelles. And our piece of chain, the other link on our piece of chain. Okay, just like that. The spacer. Our next piece of chain link. Our next rondelle. Our next piece of chain. Okay, our next rondelle. It's going to be cutting it close here. I don't know. I may have to take those extra ones off that I had on. Yeah, I'm going to have to. It's just too close. Man, I hate to have to do that, but yeah. I'm just going to take this extra rondelle off, and that'll give me enough room. It'll make it much better. Okay, so I took him off. Put my shortest piece of chain back on. And the spacer, I think this will help it. My next piece of chain. Okay, rondelle. Next piece of chain. Make sure I get not the longest one, but the next to longest one. Rondelle. Next piece of chain and the last rondelle, or the last spacer. Okay. And the last spacer here. Get on there, buddy. There we go. Okay, so let me make sure I have it right. So I've got a spacer, chain, rondelle, chain, rondelle, chain, spacer, chain. Okay, so we're good. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to make our loop here on the other end. And so I'm just going to take this and bend it at a 90-degree angle, just like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit. And I'm just going to take my, oops, not my chain nose pliers, my round nose pliers, and roll the loop back. Okay, just like that. And here is what we've created. So we've got this pretty little focal. It's got these chains that hang down, just like that. Okay, now we're going to create a couple of links to go up the sides here. What did I do with my eye pins? Here they are. Alright, So we're going to do a beaded link here and a beaded link here. So let me pull out a couple eye pins. This is where we're going to use our rose quartz beads. So I am going to do a rondelle, a spacer, another rondelle, a rose quartz bead, another rondelle here, whoops, okay, a spacer, and one last rondelle. Okay, just like that. And that's going to be a cute little link. So again, I'm just going to make a loop, cut this, and roll my loop back. Okay, and there's what we've got. Now I'm not making sure my loops are closed up because we're going to be opening them back up in a minute to put it on my thing, so I'll check it then. Alright, so here we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Rondelle, spacer, rondelle, 8mm rose quartz bead, rondelle, spacer, and rondelle. Okay, and we're just going to make a loop the same way we just did. Okay, and just roll your loop back, just like that. So here's what we've got. Okay, now I've got my chain measured out here, and it's going to go up both sides. And this necklace is not meant to be a very long necklace, but I need to connect these and then check and see if it's long enough, because I don't want to, you know, I don't have a lot of the Rolo chain left to do an extender with, so I kind of need to measure this one pretty closely to how I would want to wear it. So I'm going to use some jump rings, and I'm going to attach the jump rings. I'm going to attach my links on with the jump rings because I really like the way when you put a jump ring on, it just makes it have some movement and they don't bind up. The links bind up when you attach them, I think anyway. Now I'll have somebody that's like, no, you're doing it wrong. No, I just have found that if I put a jump ring in there, that it has more movement. It's easier. They just don't get connected. They don't just get stiff and bind up on me. So that's how I like to do it. If you don't want to do it that way, then feel free to do it however you want. This is just an idea, that's all. So I'm going to attach my other one over here. Go ahead and close this up, and here's what we've got. Now, what I need to figure out is if I want to go ahead and attach my chain now, or if I want to make another link if I need it to be longer. So I'm going to kind of hold it up to me, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to use another link because this, I had to cut the Rolo chain in half, obviously, to have enough on each side, and it's not that long. So I think I'm going to have to make, because by the time, let me put this down here and measure. By the time I attach that, it's going to be right at about 8 inches, and that's definitely not long enough. So I'm going to make another link here. Just using the same beads in a different order probably. So I'll probably do a spacer, a rose quartz bead, a rondelle, a rose quartz bead, and another spacer. Yeah, that'll make a decent little link there. So let's do that. I'm going to do the same thing as before. I'm going to go ahead and create my link, and then I'm going to attach it with a jump ring to this other one. And then we'll attach our chain, and I'll measure it again just to see that it's where I need it to be. This is turning out pretty. I love the box this month. I just love the vintage look of the jewelry that you can create with rose gold and pinks, and it just makes really pretty vintage pieces, I think. Vintage looking pieces. Oops. Okay. So we've got this one on. Make one more. And we'll do a spacer. Rose gold. I've done that since we got this box. Every time I have called them rose gold instead of rose quartz beads. Okay, just like that. And guys, I am almost at 7,000 subscribers. When I get to 7,000 subscribers, I'm going to do the giveaway. So if you haven't commented on my giveaway video and you want to be a part of that, there's going to be a drawing, and I'm going to give away 3 just miscellaneous lots of stuff. It's nice stuff, but just beading supplies, all kinds of cool stuff. I'm going to give away 3. So if you want to be a part of that drawing, you need to go comment on that video, and I will link the video in the description box below. But I will announce when the drawing is going to be. So when I hit 7,000, I'm getting close, but not quite there yet. Okay, so we've got this put on here. Now I'm going to attach my chains on either side, again with jump rings, and I'm going to hold this up and see if it's going to be long enough. If it's not, we'll make another link. That's what links are good for. Links are awesome. Okay. So we got that one on. I think it might be long enough now. And let's go ahead and put this one on. Okay, so let me hold this up and see how it fits me. Whoops. And yep, that's pretty much perfect right there. That is going to work. So I'm just going to attach my ends now. So I'm going to take my loop here that I want my lobster claw to clasp onto. And I'm going to put it right on here. And I'm not doing an extender on this one this time. Usually I do, but I don't have enough Rolo chain. And my other chain's not big enough for my lobster to clasp into. And then I'm going to take this one and hook my lobster on. I like to use a little bit of a thicker one when I hook my lobster on. If you see, I've been using these tiny, thinner ones throughout the necklace, but the lobster, I like to use a little bit of a thicker one just because, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little more secure for the clasping part. Okay, so we're going to clasp this together, and here's our necklace. And I love this. I think, like I've said, this is one of the prettiest boxes I think they've ever done. So let's set this aside and we'll do the earrings really quickly. They're not going to be difficult at all. So we've got all of our little earring stuff here and our chains. So we're doing the same basic idea. Okay, we are going to take our eye pin and create a little focal piece. And I know that the box came with flowers in it that I could have used, but I didn't really care for. They're okay, but to me, you have to be up really close to tell this is a flower. Like, it just looks kind of like a rose gold blob, in my opinion. And not that I don't like them, they're pretty, but I just didn't want to use them on this. So I think I'm going to do a spacer, 1 link of the longest chain, and the same thing we did on the other one. So we'll do a rondelle. Is this the longest, second longest? Yeah, the second longest chain. A rondelle, and the shortest chain. Got plenty of room. I could do a spacer there, and I think I will. spacer, our rose quartz bead. Well, I thought I had plenty of room. I don't. Let's leave that off. The rose quartz bead. Yeah, let's just be safe here and leave it off. Okay, then we're going to connect our other ends. Whoops. So there's that one. We'll do the rondelle. This next one. Rondelle. And the last one. Okay, just like that. Really pretty. And our spacer. Okay, now we're going to make a loop. I don't have a whole lot of room left here. I think I can do it though. A tinier loop. There we go. It worked. Okay. Oops. So here's what we've got when we don't get this all tangled up around here. And if you do, just turn your chain, it'll lay back down. Okay, so there's what we've got so far. Let me do the other side. Okay, so we've got our spacer, our longest chain, rondelle, next longest chain, rondelle, shortest chain, rose quartz bead, shortest chain, whoops, the shortest chain back up here, rondelle. Nothing is going on the first time, is it? The next chain, another rondelle, the next chain, and our other spacer. Okay, and again, we'll make our little loop here. Okay, so here's what we have. We have our two little pieces like that. Now, we have this piece right here, and we're going to connect it to the two ends with a jump ring, okay? So you're just going to take this jump ring, attach this right here, close it up, and do the same thing on the other side. Is my recording? Oh, okay. Whew. I'm sorry, I moved the camera there. I couldn't see the recording timer, and I was like, please tell me I have not been not recording this video this whole time. That would be terrible, but I am. Okay, so sorry I jerked the camera there a second. Okay, and here's what we have, just like this. Okay, so now you're just going to take your ear wire, and depending on how your link lays, and my link lays correctly, the hard part is going to be getting it on here. So I'm just going to take this head pin and help me, see if it'll help me to get this on here. Because it has to go in the very middle. So, let's see. Maybe it'd be easier to do it like this. It doesn't matter which way it hangs because they're the same front or back. So, let me just try to find the middle here. And see if I can get it on the middle rung. There we go. Is that right? I think it needs to come over one. Let me try to scoot it over one and see if that looks better. If not, you could always just use a jump ring and let it slide, because it's going to hang in the middle. That's not better. It's going to hang in the middle when you put it on anyway. You know, it's going to gravitate toward the middle. So if you wanted to just put a jump ring on and let it slide along this chain, you could do that. But I really would rather get it right in the right length if I can. And I'm having issues doing it. Yep, now I'm too far the other way. I should have counted the lengths. I did not, though. I just measured. Part of my problem is this ball and this eye pen. I hate these things. And there we go. That's the correct one. Okay, got it. Took a minute, but I got it. Okay, so there is our finished earring. Yeah, and it does look really pretty. So let's do the same thing to this side. Let's take our two little jump rings and attach our chain. And you know what I may do? I may do this first. This would probably be way easier, guys, to do it this way. I'm sorry, I should have figured this out ahead of time, but I didn't. So take your chain and find your middle, like this, on an eye pin, or a head pin, or whatever. And once you find your middle, you can attach your ear wire now, and it will make your life much easier in a minute. So, yeah, so that middle link right there is where this ear wire needs to go on. This will make it a lot easier to do it. If I can get it on there. And again, these balls on these ear wires, I hate them. Okay, there we go. So that will make life much easier here in just a minute. And you may be one link, you know, it may just be because of the way that I measured, you've got one link more. It's not really going to matter once it's on your ear, because it's going to move around. Because see, this is like, we are one link short on this side. Yeah, it's just one link though. It's not, if it was two, I would worry a little more. But it's just one, and this is going to move around on your ear and sway, and it's not really going to matter if there's one link that's, you know, if it's a little more one-sided than the other. But if you don't, you know, if you want to make sure that you get it exact, you can do that. You can count out your links, but I didn't count out my links. I just measured the chain, and it is going to be okay. So let me go ahead and attach it if I can. Nothing's easy today. And close this up. Same on the other side. And the good thing about this is it will hang either way. It doesn't matter if you know, there's no front or back, which makes it easier when you're putting it together for sure. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that is really cute. Okay, so there are our earrings. Here is our necklace, and I am going to pause the video here in just a second. He's all flipped around on me. Yeah, let me pause the video here and put this on a form so you can see it all laid out nicely. Okay, so here are our finished pieces. So here's the necklace. There's the links at the side, and my camera is absolutely washing this out. See if I turn that light around, if that will help. Probably not. Okay, and then there are the earrings. So I really like this set. I think it turned out really pretty. Yeah, just very vintage and classy. So if you're interested in subscribing to Bargain Bead Box, I'll have links in the description box below. I will link the giveaway video in the description box below. You have to comment on it in order to be entered for the drawing. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.